Hi everybody, today I'm going to take you for a walk around Kings Park. It's fairly windy up here, so I will just record and then remove the sound, the wind sound, and put music to it, just like normal. Kings Park is where our war memorial is, and it's also the Botanical Gardens in Perth, West Australia. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Let's try recording this for a second time. Underneath the memorial is people who died in the different wars representing West Australia. That's the HMA Sydney. If you remember, I visited the memorial up in Geraldton on the northwest trip that I posted. So we have people from World War One, II, Afghanistan, Iraq, Solomons, Fiji, Korea, Malaya, Borneo, Vietnam, 11th Battalion. This is just all the West Australians. 12th Battalion, 16th Battalion. Well, the memorial here at Kings Park was built on a cliff, on a bluff, and it's called Anzac Bluff, and it represents the guys that had to climb the bluff at Gallipoli. And you know what happened at Gallipoli. We have the 28th Battalion, the 44th, 48th, 51st, Corps of the Artillery, the 10th Light Horse Regiment that went to Egypt, and the 10th Light Horse Regiment continued. Corps of Engineers. And for the population of West Australia, there was a hell of a lot of people died. Engineers, can't read that, says. Anyway. RNs. No, yeah, it must be. Army Corps, medics. So every year, Anzac Day, except for last year, which was 2020, you know what happened in 2020. So last year we didn't have an Anzac service up here, but generally we have an Anzac service up here every year on the 25th of April. And all the returned veterans who are still alive attend, as well as the public, and they lay wreaths and had a lot of Anzac poems published over the last 10 years, as well as organising Anzac services in the job that I worked in aged care. I organised the big 100-year in Anzac service, and it was a massive job, but I did it and I'm pretty proud of myself for it. I'm what you call an Anzac freak. I believe in lest we forget. A further note to the Anzac story under the memorial, I am going to leave it as it is. Maybe bloopers, doesn't matter. So that road, the freeway there, that leads south to Bunbury now. And you take side roads off to get to Mandurah and Rockingham. And then we have our train that comes up from Mandurah via Rockingham. This is South Perth over here. And somewhere over there, straight in front, is where I live. This explains the flora. West Australia has almost half of Australia's 25,000 plant species, and 2/3 of these do not occur naturally anywhere else in the world. So how's that for information? Oh, the Botanic Terraces and the Botanic Pavilion were built to mark the 50th anniversary of the West Australian Botanic Garden. Exploring WA's unique flora since ancient times, West Australian plants have been valued by Aboriginal people for their survival and spirituality. Love those flowers. I think they're very pretty. It's a nice little walk through here. In September, the month of August, September and generally October, this place is an array of wildflowers. All the different areas in the park represent different areas around West Australia, mostly Aboriginal communities and areas. These are called boab trees, and they actually come from the northwest of West Australia. And this represents the Kimberley region, so that's where the boabs come from. This is the boab. It was massive. Last year was the first year that it flowered, and you can see it's still got some greenery on it. But seeing it driving through the streets of Perth on a huge big retic truck was something to see. Of course, it was lying down. It's had its bit of a toll though. But as I said, greenery's showing now and it's slowly coming back to life. In the Aboriginal culture, they have 6 seasons. We're going to walk over Federation Walkway now. If anybody ever comes to Perth, I'll tell you what, this place is a must to come and visit. Doesn't matter if it's raining, you bring an umbrella. And if it's sun shining, like today, and windy, you still come. If it's boiling hot, you just wear a hat and sunglasses and sunscreen. and an umbrella over your head to keep the sun off. There's some grass trees. That's the tree that I had posted in another video where I couldn't call it the name I remembered. But upon Googling, I got the name and I've got it in my head so I don't forget it. So there you go, grass trees. And they're actually quite lovely. So we just walk up here onto the top of the bridge. The Dreaming Serpent. In the Aboriginal Dreamtime, the Wurrgil meandered through the landscape, creating rivers, waterways, lakes on its journey from the hills to the ocean. The Rainbow Serpent is an ancestral deity of the Noongar community. The Darling Escarpment on the distant horizon is said to represent the body of the Wurrgil, which I can't say. A couple of little spots where people can sit and reflect. Where they have concerts in the park in the summer months. The end of the walk that I'm going to do today. I've done about 85% of the park, just in the most of the areas where there's pathways. And I'm now going to have a coffee. Catch us later. Cheerio.